We're back. Two topics to discuss today. Let's jump right into it. Platinum Card Breaks. They have been accused of stealing a Justin Field redemption cards out of a group break they ran of National Treasures football. There's a two-part video that shows kind of one of the main guys in Platinum Card Breaks, G, kind of putting a box off to the side and playing a little switcheroo with this National Treasures group break the other day at Platinum Card Breaks.
You're going to notice here in about 2 seconds, he actually cups his right hand and turns real quick to Austin and pretend that there's nothing in his hand. I'm about to show you.
He's opening up, fellas.
You see that? Sleight of hand skills that he has?
So I played a little snippet of the video there. I'll link the entire two-part video in the video description if you want to check it out. You know, I found it compelling. I watched it all. I find it weird that one of the boxes did end up off to the side with the Justin Fields redemption cards. All the other boxes ended up in the trash. And then when they went to look in the trash, he kind of cupped the box and kind of went and kind of dipped it in the trash. I mean, all those things added up, and the way it was presented on the video, yes, it does look very shady. The guy from Platinum Card Breaks, G, he did release a video, and I'll play a little snippet of it here of his response to being accused of taking the Justin Field redemption.
Right here. I'm not trying to make a video and be all sorrow. I'm only sorry for the people that thought for a second I might have did that I fuck with. But after you see this, if you still think that, don't break it. That's fact. That's fact. Don't break it. Because I would never do that to the people I fucks with. Ever. Ever. And if you break with me, you fuck with me. So I would never do that to somebody breaks with me. I've done a lot of grimy things when I was a kid. Younger in life, I've done a lot of motherfucking grimy things. But I would never fuck the people that I eat with. Period. Like, if you do that, you're stupid.
So I mean, I don't know. G just comes off as not a very likable or trustworthy person. So that's going to work against them here in this case. You know, anybody that watches the two-part video that exposes this and then watches G, might come to the conclusion that this guy's shady. So just glaring how immature and unprofessional a lot of these guys are. And it just kind of takes me back to a couple months ago when there were a lot of people in the hobby, you know who you were, that was saying I was bad for the hobby. And I'm like, do you guys ever take a look around? Guys like Platinum Card Breaks have been around a long time, and their style and their attitude, and I don't care if they're swiping things off the table or not, just glaring how unprofessional and just, you know, how immature a lot of it is. But these are some of your biggest group breakers. These are the guys you guys have entrusted, and distributors and the manufacturers themselves have entrusted. So we'll see what happens. I'm sure Josh Luber will be breaking cards with these guys by the end of the week. Speaking of Josh Luber, the Fanatics CEO, visionary, whatever we're going to call this guy, he is getting crushed for his appearance with Backyard Breaks on a 2012-2013 Prism basketball case. I mean, absolutely crushed all over sports card, social media, and forums. So much so that he's tried to defend himself in some DMs that people have sent him through Instagram that have now leaked to the public. He's tried to say that the Backyard Breaks Trevor Lawrence scandal was basically a nothing burger. He's also said that the person who made this video chronicling Backyard Breaks rigging their group breaks, that this person should be ashamed. Josh Luber said this person should be ashamed for making this video. Kind of remind me actually of another sports card influencer a couple months ago that said somebody should be ashamed.
And I want to say this, Sports Card Radio, you should be ashamed of yourself. The content you've been producing to your viewers, if any of you view their videos and you enjoy that, all I'm going to tell you is that's not content.
Two quick things I want to point out about Josh Luber. The sports card world, since he took over at Fanatics, really hasn't heard from this guy. He appeared at the Topps Conference, which is a paid private event for dealers. He appeared at the Mint Collective, and to hear him talk would have cost like $600 or $700. He really hasn't been visual. He really hasn't put out any of his own content aside from some, 100-page PDF that nobody's going to read, and anybody in the sports card world already knew the information that was in there. So he hasn't been public. He hasn't done any kind of public-facing interviews or anything like that. And so his first appearance is with Backyard Breaks. Look, if it was the 8th person that he broke with, or the 20th time we've seen him, I don't think people would have had a problem with it. They would just say, oh, he breaks with everybody, or he goes on with everybody, or he's done this plenty of times. But because it was his kind of first public-facing appearance for a lot of people, outside of the corporate events, it's just bizarre and just makes him look so stupid. The other thing I'll mention is that while Josh Luber defends Backyard Breaks and said they did nothing wrong in the Trevor Lawrence situation, the person who made the scammer video about them should be ashamed. Luber, you've kind of hitched your wagon to Backyard Breaks now. So if they ever do anything in the future, guess whose social media feed will blow up along with Backyard Breaks? You. You've now kind of associated yourself with Backyard Breaks. Unless you start getting out there in the sports card world and start doing the media tour and people forget about this. But if you go into hiding and into your sneaker closet for the next 3 or 4 months and we don't see you until the National, buddy, you better hope these little frat bros over at Backyard Breaks don't do anything stupid, because now you're associated with them. And we'll see if you ever become ashamed of that. Anyways, I gotta go. I've seen Pearl Jam 3 times in the last 5 nights. I'm a little tired, if you can't tell. One more time tomorrow. But if anybody does anything shady, we'll be back to talk about it, and I won't be ashamed about it. And I'll see you guys soon, probably in person.